Hello friends, today I'm going to be discussing which is better, the shotgun microphone or the parabolic microphone for nature sounds. Now, the basic difference between a shotgun microphone and a dish is the shotgun will be something like this. It begins to see whatever you're showing it and then it doesn't want to see anything else, okay? But you don't have gain here. On the other hand, the dish will give you gain. If you hold your ears like that, you'll find that you'll suddenly have gain in your ears. You'll have the audio amplified in your ears. So that's the basic difference between these two. So that dish has what is known as free gain. Okay, you don't have to crank up the this thing to get that gain. Just before I talk about the dish, which I have, made recordings over the past 3 months, and you'll love that. I'm going to be talking about the shotgun microphone just for my students. Okay, so bear with me just 1 minute. So this is the Sennheiser ME88, a rather long microphone. As you can see, its interference tube is 2 feet long. All right. Now, what do I mean by interference? That's how this guy rejects sound, okay, coming from the sides. If you get the sound straight in, no problem. And once the sound comes from the side, like that, and from here, there will be some time delays, okay, happening to these sounds. And those delays would cause, will call, the waves to interfere with each other and hence cause phase cancellations. And that's how this guy actually works. In fact, all shotgun microphones work like that. Let me show you. This guy has the interference tube. In fact, the entire thing here is the interference tube. It starts with some holes, as you can see, and varying sizes, of course. Going smaller towards the capsule, and this is where the capsule really is. That's where the capsule is here. So you can see smaller holes, and then towards the end here, larger holes. Okay, so that's how this actually works. The little brother, of course, is the 415. This is before the 416. A lot of you might think that this is the interference tube. Wrong. You see, the interference tube is here inside the microphone. And as you can see, this is where the capsule goes. So obviously, again, the holes, you can see those holes, bigger holes and smaller holes towards the capsule. Shotgun, this one obviously will have a much wider, vision, so to say. It will not have such a narrow vision. But whereas the Sennheiser ME88 will have a very narrow, field of, taking audio. Now, there's a lot of engineering going into this, so I don't want to discuss all that because I want to majorly discuss parabolic microphones. So there is something also known as the transition frequency. Let me tell you about that. The length of the shotgun also is determining the transition frequency. So what is transition frequency? Transition frequency means at which frequency this guy will not be directional anymore. For example, this guy is at 2 feet long, correct? So if I want to calculate, this is a very simple formula. It's called F is equal to C upon 2L. C is, of course, the speed of sound, which is at 1125 feet. And this one is at 2 feet, if you see that. So I'm going to multiply the 2 into 2, which is 4 in this case. 1125 divided by 4, it gives you 281 hertz. So what that means is at 281 hertz downwards, this guy will not be directional anymore. Okay. Worse is this fellow. So even if I take this guy to be 1 foot, so by this formula here, 1125 divide by 2 now, because this is 1 foot now, and divide by 2 will give me about 600 something, frequency, below which this guy will not be directional anymore. Okay. Now that you know what is transition frequency, that is the frequency at which this guy will not be directional anymore. And we've just calculated this to be at about 281 hertz. We just did that. Can you imagine the kind of length of a shotgun microphone that would be required for, say, reject or taking up to 20 hertz? So you're looking at a microphone, the length of roughly about 6 feet to 7 feet. And by the way, I think there was a company called, there is a company by the name of Electro Voice, which actually made a 6.5 feet or 7 feet of a microphone so that it could be, taking the entire frequency spectrum. Wow. Okay, my first parabolic dish was a utensil called a kadhai, and it had a cardioid mic. Listen to it. But before you listen to this, let me tell you a few things. Listen to my voice, and you'll suddenly notice how the low end is just not there, and how the voice, human voice, sounds so hollow. Listen to it. But the parrot, of course, sounds perfect because that's what the dish does. Listen to it. You know what? Because I've created this guy. This is a kadhai microphone. Let's hear it. So after my kadai microphone, Deepak Gupta ji approached me. He said that there's a lot of social distancing happening. Why don't you create a dish so that people can actually record from a distance? So he gave me my first plastic dish, and here it is. This is how it looks like, the dish. I made some handle here so that it does not warp, and it had a little very little crack there. So I fixed it from the outside. Of course, there is hot glue outside, and I've put in some padding there so that the handling noise is reduced as much as possible, as you can see. And an omnidirectional microphone in there, and if you can see, it's got some rubber, so that also gives it the shock proofing. Okay, so in other words, this is what it actually looks like, and it's very, very nice. But the problem was that it's monophonic. Coming back to my discussion on the parabolic dish again, this gives you free gain, but this is frequency dependent. It means if you see the FRA that I will just post up here, it will give you from 2K to 10K a lot of gain. So that's the problem with the dish, okay? But that goes away if you use a larger dish, which means greater than 3 feet. You're going to carry that, man. Okay. So the bigger the dish, the better the lows, okay? That's what it is. And mic at focus gives boosted high frequency. I didn't know this. Uma Shankar ji, thank you so much for giving me all this knowledge. And Himanshu, who guided me, and Nanduji as well, of course. So mic at focus, so simply defocus it, either move it away from the. Now, how did I focus my kadhai is very interesting, okay? Let me show you.
Really get the focus, I need to do this. See that, and that's about somewhere where the focus really is. Can you see that? There.
Another problem that the dish has is giving you what is known as the telephoto effect. What does that mean? It means that if I want this bird, which is green colored, and I don't want this bird, which is the red colored, okay, and assume this is my mouth is the dish, so I'm trying to get this bird but not this. But what is happening is with the telephoto effect, this the sound of that red bird also comes closer. Okay, so that's what the telephoto effect is. And a lot of my cinematographer friends would understand this. When they use a telephoto lens, this effect is very, very evident. Let me show you this effect vis-a-vis the first I'll show you with the shotgun, and then I'll show you with the dish. The plastic dish, it had a omnidirectional microphone in it, and that proved very nice results, very, very good, very effective. But I've seen Tom Bennett and others who have done some stereo miking techniques on the dish. So that, I wanted to try out myself. So I've done 4 combinations on these. And first, let me show you what I've done. I've done the XY. So the next option that I did was the boundaries setup. So I put 2 capsules with facing each other, and the boundary setup basically.
Yes, I hope you can see it. It's basically 2 capsules, okay, placed very close to a flat surface, as you can see. And this flat surface was supposed to give me a stereo image, and it did. But the problem was that the stereo image was not very, spaced out kind of a.
So on to my third combination. Now, all these two were driving me nuts, okay? But this one proved to be good. This is basically a back to back. You can see the combination there. 2 capsules back to back, and I created a small this thing so that this could go onto the kadai, okay, or the utensil. So the last combination is the most liked combination of mine. I really love this, and I'll show you the close up of this.
So it uses 2 microphones on one side, as you can see, with a larger plate, of course. And on the other side also, the two microphones. They're all placed at the focus points.
So two microphones on one side, two microphones on one side, and that gave me an amazing stereo width. Okay, and also the focus was fantastic. So all in all, this was the best, but the second best was this. Let's listen to some samples on this. So the question asked was, would I use a shotgun microphone or a parabolic for nature sound? And my take would be for the parabolic dish, but a large one, of course. This one is rather small. I would look at about 3 to 4 feet of a dish, and that would give me a low end, which is good enough. Now, would I use a shotgun microphone? Probably, if I were to go into a very damp forest, and then I would not pick up any shotgun microphone. As you know, there are shotgun microphones like the MKH 416 by Sennheiser, and Sennheiser isn't paying me anything to say this, and neither is Rode NTG3. They're all RF biased, which means that the dampness cannot affect them. So thank you for watching this program, and I hope you liked it. If you did, kindly give me a like and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.